Hello guys, hello everybody on Facebook and Instagram. All right, here we go. Yay, I did it! All right, so those of you who I just lost, I will see you back again in a second, and welcome everybody. Hello to all of you who are joining, Instagram and Facebookers. Pop back in. I am on Instagram Live and I am on Facebook Live today with our Cosmic Chat. Welcome. So here's the good news. I'm going to start you guys off before we start on the live questions that I had suggested earlier that I was going to share with you guys today. The good news is that Mercury retrograde is over. And that is great because it was a doozy for most people, and it was intense. It was in the sign of Aries, and it was overwhelming. So, as you could see, the last several, this live call and live chat, it took place with a Mercury retrograde, and I had dropped calls both times. So we're not going to do that today. Today, we are going to make this happen, and you guys are all popping in, so I'm so excited to see all of you. And we're going to have a little discussion on some fun topics that I absolutely love, and I want you guys to throw at today if things are coming up, even off these discussions. You have me, go ahead and put something into the chat window because I can see you, and let's have it. All right. So good news is that I have quite a few of you guys. I seem to go back and forth on Facebook and Instagram of who's able to pop in and who's not. So welcome to everybody who's here. We are doing this Cosmic Chat live, and our questions today were that kind of posted on the walls. What is your weak spot? Is your weak spot your freedom? That was one of the questions, right? Is your weak spot your freedom? Hi guys. All right, so I got my Instagrammers joining in. Hello, hello. So is your weak spot your freedom? Thanks for popping back in, guys. I appreciate it. So sorry I dropped you. So is your weak spot your freedom? And then the second question was how to expand your spiritual practice? And I'm gonna push the spiritual practice to the second answer because I think that's a little bit more involved as well as can be more basic. I think it's just really in the eye of the beholder. So we'll talk about that second. The first topic I wanted to discuss is your weak spot your freedom? And the answer is yes. We're done. That's it. Your weak spot is your freedom to be, see, have, do whatever you guys want to do. And I'm going to share something with you guys. Logic and reason are not on your side. Just so you know, the universe is becoming so expanded, the veil, what's separating us from universal truths and spiritual truths and divine higher power energy and the other dimensions of time and space, they're all there. And we're all starting to see it and feel it. People can feel this stuff better, stronger, more powerful. And so my answer to all of you is logic and reason are not on your side. So stop trying to bring logic and reason into your solutions. Creative, think of it this way, creative, reset, renew, and restart. That is what is on your side. So the more creative you are to reset, renew, and restart, that is what will break you up, okay? And so what happens is vibrational. We are all vibrational beings, and we are all vibrational magnets. And we are matching vibrationally to events that push us to heal our wounds. So if there's a wound in there and we're not paying attention to it, it's going to keep vibrationally get matched to you. So if you have a weak spot, which is often, all right, so I like to share this as well, guys. Your greatest talent is also your greatest weakness. Okay, so if you have a weak spot, which is often our greatest talent that we tend to overdo, all right? So if you know that your greatest gift can become your greatest challenge, why is that? because too much of anything is too much. And if you are doing, hi guys, hello to all of you guys popping in, by the way. Thank you for joining. Your greatest gift can become your greatest challenge. Why? Because if we try to, basically what happens is we're all trying to do more of what we're good at, right? And if you're trying to do more of what you're good at and you avoid what needs attention, that's where the shackle is awaiting for you guys to go get the bolt cutters and cut you free. And so if you're not cutting yourself free and you're focusing on all your talents and all what you're good at and all these positive traits within you, which is wonderful. I tell people, focus on what you're good at, but don't avoid what's holding you back. It takes you guys getting real with yourselves. And I'm preparing you because the universe, the vibration, the cosmic forces are going to force you to do it. So you can either take my guidance and heed this information, or you can feel shackled and held back to your weak spots. Now, if we don't want to look at them, that's on you, right? And so my point is it takes getting real with yourself. Think about the word avoidance, avoiding the dance, right? So avoiding the dance with your shadow, this thing back here that we don't want to look at. I like to call shadow, people look at their shadow side, which is ego, your shadow. I call your shadow beast. And the reason I call it your shadow beast is because when it's flared up, you become a beast to match it. A lot of people will call it our spirits, our inner, our ego, our inner child, and our subconscious. It's basically just our subconscious repressed thoughts that are fragmented parts of ourselves that are kind of getting flared out that we haven't kind of pulled back in and sealed the deal. So if you've got a fragmented part of yourself out here, that shadow gets flared up. And when the shadow gets flared up, what happens? Ego gets flared up. It turns into a crazy beast and it starts getting angry. You feeling uncomfortable inside. And then you're frustrated. And so when we start having this, we have to deal with our crap, guys. And again, if you don't deal with your crap, you will draw more of that empty, voided energy. So when you don't deal with your own crap, you attack others. It's that simple. And I'm not, so here's one thing. I want to be very clear that I'm sharing with you guys. I am not a fan of staying there and harping on the wounded, I'm a victim mode. Anybody who knows the coaching and the training and the healing I do, victim mode is not something I support. And there's nothing wrong with getting hurt and wounded and saying, yeah, that sucked. That hurt. I don't want that crap anymore. I get that piece. So if we're going to stay in victim mode, you're not hearing this message. Dealing with your crap doesn't mean staying in victim mode, but you can't, here's the point. You've got to fill an empty bucket, right? And if the bucket of where your weak spot is, it's going to let you have freedom to get out. If it's empty and you don't even know to look to see that you have an empty bucket, how do you fill it? So the point being is that I need you guys to open up and go, do I have an empty bucket? Do I have a weak spot that I kind of need to address and pay attention to? And we all do it. We all have it. I have it. You have it. So imagine that shadow part of ourselves, the ego, the fragmented piece that's just kind of left out there that needs to get slid back in and fill ourselves up, filling the bucket. Just think this way, though. You don't want to go too fast, right? And if you go too fast, you need to do it one chunk at a time. So sometimes it's going to take a little time to fill your bucket. But we are all free will creators, and you create that bucket full and you create that bucket empty. It's completely up to you. But if you don't fix it, you won't change. Or at least if you don't address the fact that you might have an empty bucket, nothing's going to change in your life. And so how do you do that? My simplest, easy tool that I share with people is, a lot of you all know I do astrology within my coaching and healing and teaching work. And I shouldn't say do astrology, but I use the planets. I use energy so that we can see things faster and easier that way, because we are all part of this universal truth. We're all connected on the grid, and the grid's connected to the planets. It's just that simple. All right. So the easy tool I'm going to give you guys of how to look at that empty bucket, that weak spot, the weak spot that sets you free, is if you look at your astrology chart. Now you can call me and get a chart reading, or you can just go online, type in your astrological, info, your birthday, your time of birth, and your location, and look at a chart. And if you look and see where your north node sits in that chart, it's like your north star of life. That's where you need to go. That's what will set you free. That's where you want to get going, to the North Star. Okay? And so if you just Google the North Node in your chart and your sign and say, okay, my North Node is in Aquarius in the 9th house, and it's in Aquarius. North Node, so I Google and say, all right, what does the North Node in the 9th house in Aquarius mean? It'll tell you exactly where you need to go. All charts will tell you this. And so say you're Googling it and you just want to know what it means. It's that basic. You don't need an astrologer to tell you this one thing, which is where your North Node is. And if you don't want to even investigate your North Node, I'll make it even more simple for you. Look at your zodiac sign, and you'll know exactly what to focus on to build more in your life. All right, so what is your zodiac sign? Google, what are the weak traits of this zodiac sign? I, being an Aquarius, I'm the humanitarian. I can overhelp. I can get myself that. Remember I said your greatest gift is your greatest weakness? I can get myself in some trouble. I overdo, I overhelp, I overgive, I overfix for people, and then I can get myself in exhaustion mode and stressed out mode and overwhelm mode. So there again, there's your greatest gift becoming your greatest weakness. Addressing it is what gives you the healing. So if you don't want to go deep into your North Node, it's easy to find. Like I said, it's very simple. Go look at your weak traits on your zodiac sign. You all know what it is. You know what your birthday is. And whatever those weak spots are, ta-da, that's what you fill your bucket in. Is it insecurity? Is it overgiving? Is it being detached? Is it being emotionally shut down? Is it overly emotional, overly sensitive? Is it being critical, judgmental, bossy? I get that. I see that a lot in some signs that we don't even know we're doing it. So I share this, guys, to give you always the simplest. I am all about simple healing, simple coaching, fast results. And if you want fast results, this is every client I work with. We address their weak spots so they can take a drop a day and reset the low energy in that bucket. Where you're empty, you got to put a drop a day. You trying to fix that in one day isn't going to happen. So my goal is to always give you guys one tip, one drop. That is the easy, fast door to calm your storm. Look and see where your weak spot is, stare it down, open it up, and say, all right, I'm going to put one drop in this bucket every day to fill that. Okay? So yes, freedom is from your weak spot. You will see so much abundance come into your life by filling that up. All right, so any questions on that, go ahead and throw them out, guys. I'm here with you, and we will keep going. I love it. You guys keep popping in. So the next question I had thrown at you was how to expand your spiritual practice. All right, and I'm trained in so many different spiritual modalities, and I have so much background in this field. Yet there's so much to learn. There's so much expansion, and we could be here for days, and I could be talking about all this. Hi, Cecilia. Thank you. You're the best too. So here's the thing. How do you expand your spiritual practice? Now, I'm not talking religion. I'm not saying there's one religion. There's not one religion. There's right, wrong. There's not. They're all the same. They're all going to the same place, to love. They just have different names and different paths and different doctrines that they're following. But they're all beautiful, and they're all going to love. Now, if you're finding the weak spot, that's you looking for the weak spot. If you're looking for the guidance, take yourself to your spiritual truth. And the spiritual practice is within. It's your truth. This is why I bring up joining the truth tribe. You have to find your truth. And the vibration on this planet, guys, isn't going to let you out of this. We're all basically, imagine yourselves like a rag right now. And imagine if you're a rag and you're all getting squeezed, like you're squeezing out all the drops of the water from that rag. That's what's happening to all of you. You're all being asked to look at those weak spots, look at your shadows, look at the parts of your spiritual truth, your inner truth, and say, what parts of me are cleared and done, or do I need to get rid of and refill this rag, refill myself to my new truth, my inner truth, my greatest truth? All right. So if you're doing that, how do you expand your spiritual practice? Now, I'm all about taking our lives from ordinary to extraordinary, from constricted to expansion. And that only happens if you're willing and open, because when we expand, we have to let go of some of the old I should say traits or habits or ways of thinking of life. I always have this pain. I always have this pain. Well, you have to think the brain is telling you that, but truly, could you find a different way to view it and see it and look at it from an opportunity perspective? That's the way we have to look at life. So how do you expand your spiritual practice? Ready? There are no rules to this, guys. What expands you is your truth. Do that. I don't know what that is for you, but I'm going to share with you some of my tips, and then you guys can go there. It can be a religious prayer. It can be meditation. It can be walking outside. It can be your eyes closed. I'm going to give you some other tips, but it's whatever it is for you. Nowadays, all I'm asking is connect. What are the simplest ways to help fill in your body, in your life, is mind, body, spirit. Now, mind, body, spirit is kind of watered down. What does that mean? Okay, so the way I teach mind, body, spirit is purpose, power, and presence. Purpose is 3D with body, right? Anything you can do in the world. Anything with your body, anything you're making money, things you can touch, creating a world in this 3D form. That's your purpose, to get out and create something in abundance in this lifetime to help others grow. That's your purpose. There is where your body comes in to facilitate that. Power is your mind. You have the power to change your mind at any given moment of time and create any thought that creates the biggest powerful moment of your life. So these are all activity and thinking-based activities, right? You are going to miss the message delivered to you when you're putting intentions out to universe, to spirit, to source, if you're not in presence, which is if you're not being present. Because what happens is if we don't touch the presence part, being here, you miss messages saying, hey, universe, hey, God, here's source. I am going to put an intention out to want this. This is my request. But if you're not quiet enough and present and here, you will miss it. And so I ask you guys to ask yourselves, what is your daily spiritual practice? Because if it's not daily, I'm going to stress this. If it is not daily, you're going to miss it. Because universe, source is dropping messages into our solutions, tips, ideas, guidance into our vibrational space all the time. Day in, day out, it's dripping with ideas and tips and suggestions and support and help. Okay? So what is your spiritual practice? It needs to be daily. Now, the question is, how do you connect to your source daily? And so I like to always leave you guys with tips, fast tips, something that you can create very quickly if you hung up off this call and said, how does this work? And so my suggestion is, because again, I connect to universe, the elements, I suggest using the elements. All right? How do you connect to spirit and expand your spiritual truth and your spiritual practice? Use the elements: earth, air, fire, and water. Now, these are the 4 elements in the zodiac. There are 3 signs per element. Thus, I was sharing with you earlier, what energy are you? So I'm lucky to see what these elements are missing in a person's energy field. And then by adding that back into your daily practice, you become more present, and then it creates a seal almost from that fragmented part to give you a feeling of wholeness. And so I believe truly in simplicity. All right. So if you do anything in life, I really think it should be simple and easy for you to repeat it on a daily basis. So then it becomes habit. You can't create a habit if you're not doing it daily and you're not repeating over and over and over. It's like brushing your teeth, right? So I was trying to figure out how to share a good example of this with you guys. And so I'm going to use myself as an example. I am an Aquarius. And so that's an air sign. I know a lot of people think it's a water sign. It's an air sign. And I catch myself holding my breath often. And I used to do it a lot. I used to catch myself holding my breath a lot. Well, by breathing more, and often I slow myself down and I'm at a more present moment in time. And when I do this, I get the greatest aha moments and ideas in those moments. And I had to kind of look within and say, all right, my spiritual practice now needs to include what is natural for me, yet most neglected. Many neglect to breathe daily and breathe frequently and breathe intensely. But when I'm being neglectful of myself and I'm doing that and I'm catching it, I get anxiety and get overwhelmed. And then I'm like, no, slow down and breathe. Just that, for me being an air sign and I'm catching myself, this is the greatest place to start, guys, is start with your element. Find out what your sign is. Here's what they are. So the air signs are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. The earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. The water signs are Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. And the fiery signs are Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. So the greatest part is to start and find out what element your sign is and find a way to connect that source into your energy field. All right. And so you might ask, all right, what is that for you? Pick all the elements would be my second suggestion. I look for a way every day to ground myself, to give myself the things that might not be prevalent in my sign, in my personality, in my space. That's the empty bucket piece I was talking about. All right. So I have a cool, hi guys, hi Judy. I have a cool tool that I use with the Truth Tribe. So those again, you guys join the Truth Tribe. It is so inexpensive, but we do these long calls of this stuff, and you guys can jump in, ask your own private conversations. But I teach them these different tools that I teach them to facilitate all of the elements into your life. All right. So if it's earth, go outside and get grounded. And outside, I mean, get the groundedness. If it's air, if you're an air sign, you need to breathe. And I guarantee you, a lot of you are holding your breath. Imagine doing that for minutes at a time. We don't do that. I guarantee you, unless you're running, which is why I found when I'm not running, I'm feeling stressed out. It's probably less the running and more the breathing that's helping me. All right, so a fire, burning energy, literally paper, or burning your own energy by running or exercising or something that is burning your energy, your fuel. They're fiery signs. They need to be busy, but they also think about maybe burning your intentions or something like that through the moons and those energies. Water, drink it or get in it. Jump in water. Go to the beach. Go to a bath. I don't know, something that would facilitate that water. Or better yet, all four. Sometimes people think it's tough to get all four in, but it's not. So while you are being present for that element, whatever it is that you're filling in, when I'm breathing, I will sit for minutes at a time and just get present with the breath. And I mean deep breaths, not holding breaths, not hold it in and then let it out breath, none of that. I mean a constant ebb and flow of yin and yang breathing. And when I'm using my element, or if you're outside standing wherever you are, ask the universe, God, source, whatever it is, what you need, what your soul needs to bring solutions into those challenges or questions or universal intents that you're putting out there. And when you're in that present moment, watch what happens. Aha moments, thoughts, ideas pop into your brain, and it's fantastic. I mean, for me, I just sit there and go, whoa, so glad I slowed down for a minute. I totally got a great idea, and I'm on it. So those elements will balance you if you facilitate the elements that are needed. Okay? So I'm pushing this a little long today, guys, but this is really what's coming up for everybody, is this veil is getting lighter and lighter and lighter, separating us from the dimensions of universe. You can feel it. You can feel every vibration coming at you. And so if you love these discussions that we bring up and these tips, I want you guys to throw at it on the wall. The link is right here on the wall of this chat. If you like the discussions, you get me weekly, a little video from me weekly with more of these little tips, and a full hour monthly in the Truth Tribe where you get to ask all the questions you want. And just go to ideserveitnow.com, and a pop-up window pops up right away. You click on it, open it up, and sign up. It's that fast, and you will start joining in on the tribe. You can ask all the questions you want. I would love to see you there. The next call, okay, that's the first Monday of the month, but I am skipping next Monday. We're going to move Monday's call to the following Monday only because I'm traveling. I'm teaching a retreat. And so I will be traveling to the corporate retreat that will be excitingly training a whole bunch of awesome employees and having a good time. So I will post out that new Truth Tribe that's coming up so you guys can get registered. But register now because you're missing out on all the goodies that everybody gets every week. So I will leave this up for about 20, 30 more seconds. If you guys have any questions on what I shared, feel free to pop it into the comment window. And if not, I wish you guys an awesome Brightest Blessings day. And I will see you guys again next week. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for popping in. So many of you guys joined me today. It was so exciting to see you. And remember that this will get posted back up again on my wall later. So if you loved it, share it with friends, and then you guys can talk about your elements and your signs and what you need to do to start filling your buckets. So I'm going to fill all of your buckets and close this call out, which is, I think you are all beautiful. I love you. Have an awesome day. Take care.